Adults. What is something that sucks about being an adult that most teenagers don't realize? I used to think my parents were lying when they complained about money. When I was 17, I'd roll my eyes every time my mom said we couldn't afford something. She'd be like, "Mason, we need to budget for that." And I'd think she was just being dramatic. Adults always had money for bills and groceries, so clearly they were just being cheap about the fun stuff. Then I moved out at 19. Got my own place finally. A small apartment that smelled like old carpet, but it was mine. No more curfew, no more asking permission to have friends over, no more parents nagging about chores. I could eat pizza for breakfast and stay up until 4 in the morning playing games. This was the life. For 3 months, everything was perfect. I had my routine down. Work at the warehouse from 8 to 4, come home, heat up whatever was easiest, game until late. My friends Jake and Connor would come over on weekends and we'd order takeout and play until sunrise. I felt like such an adult, paying my own rent, buying my own food, making my own choices. Then one Tuesday night, everything changed. I was doing laundry before bed when I heard this horrible grinding sound coming from my washing machine. Like metal scraping against metal, but louder and angrier. I ran to the kitchen where the washer was and opened the lid. Water immediately started spilling everywhere, flooding my kitchen floor. Not just a little water either, like a freaking waterfall of sudsy, dirty water rushing across my tiles. I panicked and called the number on my lease for maintenance issues. The guy who answered sounded annoyed that I was calling after 9 p.m. He told me that since I owned the unit, repairs were my responsibility. Owned the unit? I was renting, but apparently my lease said I was responsible for appliance repairs. I'd never actually read that part carefully, so I called a repair service. The website said they did emergency calls. When the guy showed up the next morning, he was this older dude with grease stains on his shirt who looked at my broken washer for maybe 30 seconds. He poked around a bit, made some sounds, then turned to me and said, "This'll run you about $400. The motor's shot and there's damage to the drum. Honestly, might be cheaper to just buy a new one. $400. That was literally half my monthly rent." I tried to argue with him, said maybe he could just patch it up temporarily, but he shook his head. Either fix it properly or don't fix it at all. He left me his card and said to call when I decided. That night, I'm on my hands and knees, scrubbing soapy water off my kitchen floor with every towel I owned, trying to dry my soaked clothes by hanging them all over my apartment. My living room looked like a laundromat exploded, and that's when it hit me. This was the part no one talked about when they said being an adult was great. It wasn't about freedom or staying up late or eating ice cream for dinner. It was about dealing with sudden, expensive problems completely alone. No parent to call and fix it. No family money to fall back on. Just me, a broken washing machine, and a choice between having clean clothes or paying for groceries. I spent the rest of the week eating nothing but ramen because I had to save every dollar. When Jake texted our group chat asking if we wanted to go to that new burger place Friday night, I had to lie and say I was busy. How do you tell your friends you can't afford a $12 burger because your washing machine broke? The worst part was realizing my parents weren't dramatic about money at all. They didn't have some secret stash they were hiding from me. Every dollar really was planned and accounted for. That extra money I thought they had? It was their emergency fund for exactly this kind of situation. Except I didn't have an emergency fund. I barely had a checking account. I ended up buying a used washer from some guy on Facebook Marketplace for $200. It was older than me and made weird clicking noises, but it cleaned clothes. Jake helped me haul it up to my apartment and asked why I was replacing a perfectly good machine. I told him the old one just stopped working. Didn't mention the part where I couldn't afford to fix it properly.